Welcome to the Pool Nation podcast, where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo, Edgar De Jesus, and his co-host, John JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. I am your host, Edgar De Jesus, and yes, I am the reigning champion of Marco Polo, along with John JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, the famous Zach, the Pool Boy Nicholas, and yes, we are in studio, so we are with the Cannonball King himself, Mr. Spider.
What's good, y'all? Shout out to everyone that made it out to the awards, everybody that was watching the live. It was a good time.
That was a great live, wasn't it?
I thought so, but I was running it, so I'm biased.
You're a little biased, but I do have to tell you, John, that setup that we had back there with these guys on that live feed,
it was
legit.
next level.
Man, I was thinking
It was about to fall apart.
Don't tell me
It
that.
looked good from the outside, but like when you bump it a little too much, that whole thing was going down.
Oh man. So, but it looked legit. It reminded me of like a Super Bowl weekend, right? With all the trailers and all the cameras. And did you go back studio?
Oh, I did.
You did. Oh, by the way, everybody that's watching today, John is sitting on the couch because he was just like, I'm going to sit where Mama sits and I'm going to boo you guys here today. So he's over there chillaxing, a little too chillaxed, wouldn't you say?
Very relaxed.
He's just way too relaxed, just chilling back like he's ready to fall asleep. So anyways, everybody, today we are talking to Mr. Todd Pieri, Mr. Corey Wax, and Michael Kraus with Aquastar. Super excited to have you guys on here. Want to welcome everyone to the live podcast, the podcast where it's all pool talk, and we ain't talking about netting and jetting and splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. And yes, we will talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the industry. But before we get started today, I want to thank our visionary partners for this podcast, the Ultimate Pool Tools, the SPPA, Blu-ray Excel, our boys at Aquastar and girls at Aquastar Pool Products, Natural Chemistry, Raypack, Heritage Pool Supply, and Hayward Pool Products. Mr. JJ, I'm not digging this.
I know.
I'm not digging this one bit.
At least he's here.
I can see you're struggling
At least
right
he's
now.
here.
But
he
dude,
likes to look at me during the podcast, right? We do eye contact and we do hand signals and stuff so we can figure it out. But
John likes to play under the table.
but
He
we got-
stretch. He goes like.
But we got
"Under the table."
cameras in the way right now, so I think Edgar's a little bit out of his comfort zone. But I'm still here for you, brother.
Yeah, you're just chillaxing.
I am
You're,
actually.
you look at you. You
This is
got you
awesome.
got. I don't even think that Spider. Do you approve of that? He's got his feet up on that other chair.
Absolutely.
I think the only thing he's missing is a blanket.
A little
Oh,
blanket.
I
Janie,
don't
I have one.
Janie,
Yeah.
bust it out. Bust it out. Let's get that blanket going. You really put him to sleep.
Right?
I do
want
have a
to-
bag of Sharpies to throw if he falls asleep.
There you
so.
go. I like your
No,
style.
I won't fall asleep. I'm just in good company with good friends here. It's been a long week, but a very productive week. It's fun to see how about 9 months worth of planning all kind of comes together, right? And I was pleasantly surprised with how well everything went. You know, we get a little anal sometimes and a little micromanaging, wanting to make sure that everything kind of goes perfect, and we're always expecting the worst.
Why
But
does he say that and like give me a dirty look at the same time?
we do, you know, we do. But I think,
It
like
was
I said,
flawless.
exactly. Nice.
Wow. Check you out.
That's branding right there.
Damn.
Pun intended.
Let
right?
her cook.
Unintended.
Yeah.
I let her cook.
Right. But no, it went really well. I'm excited. Mentally, you know, usually I'm very, very exhausted, especially with all the conversations that go on, especially over the last, you know, however many days. But I'm mentally pumped. My body is another thing right now. I'm hurting a little bit, so I'm chillaxing a little bit on the couch here, and I'm liking it. I'm liking the view from over here, but no, I'm happy to be in here, and it's like I said, in good company with friends here, and I think today's podcast is going to be a great topic, and you know, it kind of tags on to what we were talking about a few weeks ago when we were talking about the importance of networking and building a community and how important it is. And we're going to get a little bit into that today with our friends over at Aquastar. So I will be quiet and let's continue on.
Enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Mr. Pieri, what's going on? Big
How's-
shout out.
how
Welcome
you doing?
welcome back.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're gonna
Always
have
love
we're
being
gonna,
here.
we're gonna have to give him kind of like a co-host title or something because he's here a
You
bit,
see
right?
Edgar? You see how he's looking,
Right.
right? He's,
Yeah.
Right.
You getting the side eye.
yeah.
Fired up to be here. Really excited. Came off a big week. You can probably hear it in my voice. We did a lot of talking. Really busy at the show, which was a lot of fun. Pipeline Filter, the trifecta, 3 years in a row.
Three-peat.
Repeat.
That's right, baby.
That's right. So really excited about that. Can't thank everyone enough out there for voting for us, nominating us. So really excited about that. And then today's topic is I'm really really excited about this one. We take our team serious and we love when we have members out there that when we talk to them about the potential of joining the team, they're receptive, which is really cool. So I'm crazy excited about Corey, crazy excited about Michael, bringing two different dynamics to the team. And I can't wait to dive into how they feel about everything. They've been on the team now for not too long, a couple weeks for Michael.
Yep.
A little over a month.
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
A little 8 weeks already.
Isn't that crazy?
It seems like it was yesterday.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
It's going pretty quick, you
Uh-huh.
know, and when you're having fun on a consistent level, that time just flies.
Just flies by.
Yes, sir.
So, anyways, Corey, welcome aboard to the podcast and to Aquastar.
Thank you. You know, I've been on the podcast before, but I got to say, being in the studio with the lights and the cameras, it's a different experience completely. You put me in front of my phone in a room by myself, we're good to go. This is a little intimidating for me.
Yeah,
So
Corey is literally cooking.
I am sweating like nobody would ever believe.
Mr. Michael Krause,
How's it going?
you've been on the podcast as well, but never into the studio.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm excited.
yeah. You gonna build a studio out in Aquastar now?
Are we talking about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'll give
we're,
you some figures later on.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we've got quite the project going right now back at home, and we're pumped up for the future. It's going to be a blast. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff out of the Aquastar headquarters.
Very nice, very nice. Well, we're excited to have you guys on today. By the way, I didn't mention that Janie's on the studio. She's on the boo chair.
Yeah, you
So
forgot me.
I
It's
forgot.
okay.
I
I
forgot
forgive
about you,
you.
so I don't want to.
Yeah.
I want to make sure. So
Extra
I
for you
forgive you.
today.
Boo him.
what's that,
I
Spider?
said, don't forgive him. Boo him.
Oh yeah, boo.
So, anyways, we're excited to have you guys on. We tried to kind of get you guys on a little bit before the show, the Pool Nation conference, and the awards, and it was just a little too crazy. So we just said, man, perfect timing. You guys are all going to be out here, so let's come out and talk. We were really excited. So we know what you guys are doing when it comes time to putting a team together at Aquastar, and you're putting a very powerful team in place. And you really have some amazing people on your team. And I know that's obviously part of Aquastar's strategy with everything that you guys are doing. So I'm excited to start, and we'll talk about Michael here in just a little bit, but want to talk about Corey for a while. And Corey, now that you are with Aquastar, I can be completely honest and open, right? I'm looking to John for him to give me the nod that I'm allowed to say it. Yes, so he's just saying that I'm allowed to say it. So we wanted to work with you for the longest time. We know you're full of energy. We know you're passionate for the industry. And when we do things, those are the people that we look for to partner with, right? We just don't want another sales rep coming in to do their job. We want somebody that's passionate about the industry. And so, there was a couple of times that we were trying to push and push and push to be able to kind of get you to this side of the fence to be able to play, whether it was to do training, whether it was to talk, whether it was to do anything. And when Todd called me and said, we got Corey, I think I might have dropped a couple of F-bombs in private. That's the only time I'm allowed to speak and say bad words is in private. And John's as well. John dropped a quick F-bomb.
Oh, 100%. Actually, I think I said your name before he even spit it out. I knew it was going to happen. you guys are telling a story, and about a year or so ago, you brought Brian on, right?
Shout out to Brian Chrisan.
Snatched up that talent, and we all know how great Brian is and how respected he is in the industry, and his love and his passion for what he does. And then bringing over Michael, and then bringing over Corey as well. So it's no secret what Aquastar has set out to do. There's no such thing as taking the foot off the pedal. You guys are in it to win it right now, and it's obvious with what you're doing when it comes down, especially with accumulating the talent. I think Corey is going to be a great addition, and I want to echo what Edgar said. There are a lot of people in this industry that are good at what they do, but there are a select few that just spew passion when they talk, and you can tell that they're genuine and that they truly mean what they're saying, and it's a love, and you definitely give off that vibe, Corey, when you talk, and when you speak, people listen because you can feel the passion behind it, and we're excited to have you work with us when we do some of our trainings. And I think it was a perfect example at the pre-conference, when we introduced the new 3 and your guys' training and your hands-on approach, and the feedback that we got was just off the charts, and then the conversation that we had, you and I, and how excited you were about it, and how you felt. We can't wait to continue that for sure.
You guys are building quite the team.
100%.
Absolutely. And at this stage, by the way, if that was strategy that you kind of wanted to keep under the radar, it's just became it became way too visible that even if they don't mention it, it's there and it's being talked about. So anyways, Corey, we are really excited that you're with Aquastar, because Aquastar has been just amazing partners with us, with the vision of educating the pool pros, taking the pool pros to the next level. And we truly believe that there's one way to do that, and that's obviously through the education things that we're doing, whether it's business, whether it's technical, more importantly, that hands-on, right, to be able to kind of get the pool pros. So Cheryl over here is saying the dream team. Look at that. Love that, yeah. Right there off the bat. So Corey, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us, a little bit of how you got into the pool industry and how you ended up at Aquastar.
So growing up, let's start this way. I was adopted at a very young age, constantly moved around across the country because of my father's job. So, settling in, learning how to develop relationships quickly, and trying to understand how I fit into the puzzle was always something that was a challenge for me growing up. And during that time, I made a lot of poor decisions throughout that particular time frame. And what that enabled me to do real quickly is identify where I was and where I want to be. And honestly, when I got my first job in the industry, it was at Leslie's Pool Supply. And that job specifically opened my eyes to an industry that provided opportunity, right? And some of the decisions that I made back then, that opportunity was significant for me. I didn't have that opportunity before Leslie's as far as understanding what I could be. It was always where I was at. And that was that first moment in time where it was like, wow, this is what I want to do. And it's funny because everyone says, no one ever comes out of high school or is in high school or college and says, I want to be in the pool industry. I had individuals inspire me to want to be in the pool industry. The first rep that really moved that needle for me was a guy named Eric Christensen, who, if you guys don't know him, he's in Northern California. He works for a major manufacturer, and he's the only individual that's ever wore a mullet when it was in, out, and now back in style. So he's got a lot of love and respect for me. But he was the first guy that really took me under his wing and showed me like, hey, you know what? You could potentially be something special, right? We had a trainer, Jim, who now works at HASA, who did the same thing for me. Like his ability to speak to a crowd and educate a crowd, specifically a bunch of young, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed individuals at Leslie's, and say, you know what, I'm going to empower you with that education so you can make an impact. It was another solidifying factor that this is what I want to do. And each of those individuals invested in me in ways that to this day I try to bring to the marketplace. And that just continued along my career, whether it was working at Johnson Pool and Spa with Matt, Tina, Aaron, and Brady and Augie, to my last company, which was Alpha West. You know, Jared instilled a lot of focus and structure and drive into me, and Paul and Tim took a chance on me and let me make mistakes. And without those specific individuals guiding me through the process, I wouldn't be half of the, not just rep, but person that I am today. And that for me was just massive. And when I come out and whether I'm talking to someone, you know, in a closed door meeting in the back of their office, to public speaking, or even at the boot camp, those individuals are consistently ringing through what I do. They've instilled into me that, you know what, the person that I'm speaking to might only be in the industry for the first year. They're looking for someone to invest in them like I was invested in. And it's my way of kind of giving that individual a resource, a mentor, someone to yell at when they're angry. Also, hopefully inspiring these people to understand, like, our industry that we work in is just absolutely amazing. We have such an opportunity, not just to have fun, but what we typically forget is that it's a kind of important job, right? We look at rec water as flip-flops and sun hats and pool noodles, but the reality is it can be dangerous. It can be something that people do get sick in, people do get hurt in, they do get injured in. And to be able to, you know, have people open their eyes and say, you know what, this is an important job, right? This is not just a job, it's a career that I can potentially look into and excel in, is something that I personally find absolutely exciting. So yeah, that's kind of where I am now. And that's why I honestly, looking at the Aquastar team and the products, and I don't know if I should say this, but this is what I'm going to say.
Woo! I like that. Let's go.
You know, I met Todd on a one-on-one basis for the first time 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yep.
Right? Western
remember
show. He was looking for independent rep group to represent Aquastar and on the West Coast. And so the company I was currently with, we desperately wanted to be that team. So we went over to the booth, and Todd spent 15 minutes with us educating us about the product line. And, you know, Todd told me about the pipeline filter, right? And I'm not fluffing this when I say this. He went through it all. The turbidity test, the safety, you know, the effectiveness, the gallons. I left that booth and I was like, this man is full of poop. There is no way that this is really a thing, you know?
Uh-huh.
And so after hearing that, though, I'm a pool nerd more than I am anything else. So I kept my feelers out there, just thinking, I need to know if this isn't a reality, right? Because we haven't seen anything in that particular category fit the application that we have in our industry right now, right? The way we take care of pools today is drastically changed because of the application has changed. And we don't really understand that on a ground level. And just so over the last handful of years, just talking to my buddies that are in the service field that took that leap of faith and then solidified the performance, solidified the merits that I called poo-poo caca on with Todd, was mind-blowing to me. And so just taking that look and understanding that, you know, if you look at Aquastar, in my opinion at least, the one thing that shines through is they don't want to do a Me Too. They're not about making a product that is just like someone else's for a better value proposition. They're always looking to innovate. They don't want to stay with the status quo. And when I looked at myself as a rep, I was the same way, and I am the same way. I try to be better in categories, not to just excel, right? But I don't want to be the Me Too. I don't want to be that statistic that everyone else said I was going to be when I was a young individual in life, right? And again, you know, just hearing the echoes of my mentors throughout the years, this is how you always want to evolve. This is how you always want to change. If you're not growing, you're dying. And I looked at the Aquastar product line and I said, they don't have a Me Too. I mean, you could ask me about any product minus, sorry, Mandy, drains and skimmers. I'm still learning. But I mean, I can go through the the reasons on how and why they innovated, and aggressively and passionately, because it's intense to be able to get that message out. And it's important because, again, people just don't understand. And the closer that I looked at it, the closer that I examined that opportunity, I was like, I can't let this pass me by, right? And so that kind of led me to where I am today.
In that conversation, I remember that day well, because I did seek out individuals by themselves while we were on the show floor, and Corey and I talked for quite a while, just him and I, and yeah, I walked away from that conversation, and I'm like, that kid's gonna work for us someday, in my head, right? I didn't realize he walked away from that conversation going, he full of poo-poo. I didn't realize that. But my feeling was a little bit different. But yeah, from that moment, I was like, yep, one day. And yeah, a number of years later, and the opportunity arose, and we're so excited to have him on board. Like he just continues to perpetuate our message.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And you know, it's funny because I think you probably knew what most people were going to be thinking when you came out with that product, and it was going to be that same thought, right?
Oh,
I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, these filters are good probably for the Florida market, where it's a one cartridge market." And I have to tell you, you guys probably had to sit back and go, "Man, we have to go uphill, right?" And it's a very steep climb to make it to the top to be able to change minds and that kind of stuff, but it's great to see.
If we had content from some of those first conversations at trade shows, and the looks we got, and when they're walking away going, no, absolutely not going to work.
And how good does it feel now?
It feels good. It does feel good.
Because you know.
We knew what we had. We knew what we had, and
but you know that you're starting to dominate the market in that segment.
Well, I don't know if the word dominates the word, but we're gonna dominate.
We are well on our way to getting there, for sure.
Yeah, we know what we have, and I guess I don't think we ever looked back and go, I can't wait to prove these guys wrong and make them eat crow. It was never about that, right? It is the vision of developing a quality product for the service professional and a quality product for the end user is the two things. You tackle those two things, and that's what I believe we did. So, yeah, anyway.
So what do you think now with the filter?
Like I said earlier, innovation is paying homage to my California roots, Clutch. And that's exactly what they've done. I've talked to enough people, whether it's in the field or over the short period of time that I've been with the company to the last week, and just running it through the paces and letting people know this is what it does, and seeing their look of disbelief, and then being able to pull up resources, not that Aquastar produced, right? Resources that pool professionals produced, videos, testimonials. It's like, you don't have to listen to me. Don't listen to me. But you could listen to XYZ service professionals that have multiple, if not hundreds of these units in their service route. And here's what they're saying. So it means less about what I think and more about what the professional thinks and how it impacts their business, their time, their lives, and translating that to how that can affect you, right? The other professionals. Yeah. So, but if I had to be selfish about it, I think it's a pretty cool device. I think, again, looking at the product, understanding that Aquastar is always trying to innovate, and then also understanding the application is different. We're no longer in a single speed world with 1.5-inch plumbing. We're no longer just throwing as many tablets as we can in the pool, understanding that we are more educated than we ever have been before, and that nobody has really looked at pool care and the equipment in a way that Aquastar has. It's a pretty exciting thing. And we're just in my opinion, we're just getting started from what I've seen on the back end. And wherever there's smoke, there's fire. And we're past the point of smoke. That fire is growing, and it's growing on an individual basis. It's growing on a company basis. And that's an exciting thing to be part of.
That's awesome.
Look,
I do have a question for you. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I want to jump in. I want to take it just a little bit further. I look at it as like, I've always been, and I've always preached that I believe that innovation is extremely important in our industry, and it helps breed competition, right? And competition is very good for us as a whole. I think you guys at Aquastar took it a little a step further, opposed to just not only coming out with a great product and the filter and what it does and how it performs, and God knows how much time it saves us, in the service industry wise, when it comes down to cleaning filters and taking care of them. But you've almost, the way I look at it is, you've made it okay to innovate, or to, when it comes down to like the big three, because I'm hearing things in the, little birdies and little things that are happening in the, behind the scenes, that it's okay to innovate, and that our industry isn't as stubborn as we once thought it was. Right. And that we are okay with adapting to change, even something as fundamental and as old school as a filter, right? With the mentality we've had before, because it's been around for decades, it's been around for generations, basically. And, when you guys first came out with it, there was definitely a brick wall there. And it was like, how are we going to break this stereotype of filter media and square footage and single cartridge from 4 cartridges to 1 cartridge, and that it was an impossible task to achieve, but you guys have absolutely done that, right? And I think it makes it okay, or it makes other companies or other vendors, manufacturers, willing to step up to the plate and maybe take a chance with newer, innovative products that will better our industry, right? Because they know that as a whole, we're hungry for this. We want this, right? And of course, you're going to have your naysayers no matter where you go. But I think we've learned that our industry is a lot more accepting and willing to try out these new things, or to think outside the box, and embrace these new products.
And it's changing. It truly is changing.
100%.
You're really trying to see that. Hey, really quick, I do have I have a question for you, but I do have a couple comments on here that kind of came through, so I want to make sure I kind of go through those. So, love that Corey is investing in people. Corey makes everyone around him better, and I'm blown away by his skill, knowledge, and passion. And then somebody said, the new 3, us.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Go.
The other thing is over on the other chat, which Mama is on as well, is so cool. So we have Maria, which is the Pool Girl of the Year, that's listening to us. And, we gave her a big shout out over here. We're kind of typing to her and telling her. And she said, you have no idea how many people asked me about the trophy. She goes, even one of the pilots yesterday on the airplane was asking her about that.
How cool is that?
Right?
Yeah.
How cool is that? So, she said at the airport, and I thought she was at the airport. Now I'm like, are you at the airport? And she says, no, I'm back at work. My husband says, work doesn't stop. We got to get back to work. So, anyways, Maria, I know that you're listening out there. Big, huge shout out to you, Tori, as well. Let's see here. We got a whole bunch of people just on here, so we'll give them shout outs here in a little bit. So here's my question for you. So obviously you were with Aquastar for quite a while. Weren't able to participate in any of the boot camps, any of that kind of stuff. This was your first boot camp, which was not a boot camp, was actually the Pool Nation Conference. And you kind of got to be part of that. What was that like? Give us, and by the way, pure opinion, good or bad?
Yes.
Don't say it was poo-poo.
You can if that's the way that you feel. Yes, we want to know.
I come out doing what I do with 3 key principles across the board when I talk about a product, and that's application, performance, and service, right? We talked about how the industry is now more educated, so they need better answers, better solutions. What has happened, in my opinion, is the industry has started to evolve just like the tools that we use, right? And with that evolution spawns new challenges, but new professionals. And I think what I saw at the boot camp was those new professionals have gravitated to a platform that relates to them in a way that nobody else in the industry has been able to do. And with that platform, these individuals are now able to come forward and say, let me get that education, right? What you guys have done on a for us as a vendor, as a platform, is be able to come to these people and say, let me teach you. We did 2 days of classes, 3 classes a day. I'm really good at numbers because I'm Asian, so I calculated at around about 100 to 150 people over the course of the 2 days coming into our classes. And I'd say 80 to 85% of those individuals never wired a pump, didn't know how to handle a pump seal, never seen a pump seal outside of the little go kits at distribution. And they're like, that's cool. I don't know what it is. I'm moving on with my life. And to see them walk into a classroom and say, show me how this is done, and then to leave with the confidence level that they did was absolutely just not only mine. I gotta rephrase that. It was extremely awesome to see, and it was inspiring because it solidifies we're not just making noise. We're not just sitting there being the squeaky wheel. We're turning the machine into something completely different. And I think it's an amazing opportunity for the marketplace in the sense of the professional out there that's looking to either start to even increase their educational base on what's new and how to do it. But it gives the vendors an opportunity to help themselves, right? I can't express to you throughout my career dealing with different products how many times I got the call at 4:30 in the afternoon, or my favorite one was always at like 8:30 at night on a Saturday, right? Your product sucks, it's failed. Okay. I appreciate the warm embrace of, hi, how's it going? Let's get to the nitty gritty. And you just walk them down the path of questions, and all of a sudden it's not a warranty issue. It's not a failure. It's a installation challenge, right? And so being able to show people how to appropriately put things together, appropriately install them, fit them in the correct application, was just, it gave me the warm and fuzzies. It solidified a notion in my mind, like you were alluding to, Edgar, that I've been screaming from the rooftops to other vendors to get involved. And I was ecstatic to see some of those vendors
Finally.
at this boot camp.
Finally.
Right? It was a little sad that I wasn't able to be in those classrooms and participate, but I know that they have an amazing cast of teammates that are going to do just as well as anyone else when it comes to making sure that those individuals get that education. And I think that's an important thing for all the vendors out there that, kind of shy away or don't believe. It's funny. We heard a little rumor out in the streets that there was only 5 or 6 people in the classrooms. And I was just like, they were definitely at the wrong conference, because that was not my experience at all. In one of our classes, we were shuffling chairs in throughout the entire presentation because people kept pouring in. And that room was what? 100 by 100? No,
those rooms were almost 2,000 square feet.
Again,
like
great at math.
2,200 square feet, something like that.
Yeah.
They were decent sized rooms.
Yeah, and all we did was stood in the back and shuffle chairs in for more people to be able to find a seat versus having to stand. And again, that was mind blowing for me as a first time experience on both sides of the fence. So, thank you, because that was an experience that I.
And here's a little icing for the cake on you that I just got here right now. Because you're sitting here talking, and Aaron jumped on here and goes, he was great at the boot camp. Just wish it was a little bit longer. I just installed my first pipeline pump filter and timer thanks to that training.
Let's go.
Awesome.
And that's Aaron Valdez, which is on here on social media. So big, huge shout out to you, Aaron, out there.
Yeah, I think he was one of the ones that messaged us after the show. And, we've been getting a lot of feedback on social media in really positive ways from the boot camp and learning how to install the pumps. But if I'm not mistaken, that was him. He tagged us in his story and sent us a message and said, thank you guys so much for, doing this class. I just installed this, the pump and filter. Love it. Because of the class, it all went smooth. Everything was really easy. And, it took me up until last night at probably midnight or 1 a.m. I finally got through all the notifications on our Instagram.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's
Hold on.
Mine's been
time out real quick. Let's appreciate this for a second. Here, okay?
Let's soak it in.
For real. Okay. it's awesome and it's amazing, right, for Aquastar, to hear that somebody put in one of your products that you taught them, right? But let's take it even further, right? This is how I think about it. Now, we're talking about a pool professional. We're talking about an individual who busts his ass every single day to provide for his family and his loved ones, right? Took the chance, came to a training, bettered himself, learned these skills, and now is able to take it back and apply it, right? And do that much better, become that much more profitable, be that much more confident, and be able to provide so much more for his family because they took the time to come out here and they were trained by you guys, right? And you took the time to invest in them, to show them how to do it. And now they have the confidence, and now they're able to be that much better at what they do. And what is that? I mean, how do you put a price tag on that?
And immediately.
This is just days.
Yeah.
And this is, thank you for sharing that. But how many more, right? We talk about the 85% of the people there that never, and that's why we strive to reach out to the newcomers, right, in the industry, because they're the ones that need it the most. They're the ones whose voices are the quietest, right? But there are so many of them out there. And in order for us to be able to elevate, and that's our principle, right? We want to elevate the industry. This is how you do it, right? Not just because there's another, and we love it because we love Aquastar, right? That a pipeline filter and a pump was there. But the reality is this, that there's a new tool. They learned, a new trick, and now they're able to be that much more profitable as a business. And just congratulations. I look at that and it makes every hour we put into this, the hundreds and hundreds of hours of work.
It's the gas.
And all the shit we have to deal with,
gas.
right? You know what I mean? This is what motivates me. I almost was falling asleep right here on the couch, and I hear this, right? And I'm riled up right now because like I'm pumped, right? And this is just friggin' awesome. And and it goes to our whole motto. We say, look, when you guys come out there and we do these trainings, it's not about the pump, it's not about the filter, and it's hard for our vendors to get it, but Aquastar has embraced it. Our friends at Raypack, at Attendant, right? You guys have embraced it and understood that you were there, and you were there for this individual, this pool professional. And, you were the one teaching them. And it so happens to be that you taught them on with your pump and your filter because you spent the money, you spent the time, you took the effort to go out there and to train these and say, hey, look, this one individual that might not have, 1,000 pools like some of the other vendors look at and go, hey, I want to go after the company that has 5,000 accounts on service or builds 300 cookie cutter pools every single year. And that's who I need to invest my time in. That's where I send my resources in. When we're trying to say, we call bullshit and say, no, that's not how you impact an industry, right? You impact the industry with that one individual, right, who will one day become that company that does 3,000 pools or builds 500 pools a year. And you guys get that, right? And you guys did that. So I'm just like, that is so just friggin' amazing.
I
am fired up.
But kudos.
I know. I almost got up.
I can see the eyes are open.
I almost got up. But thank you guys. That's
but
so
look,
badass.
at the same time, like, big, huge kudos to you guys, right? Because we know that it's not cheap. I mean, you guys have to get all the equipment there, all the people that you have to fly there. I don't even want to know that hotel bill, right? And it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort to build those carts. Those 3 new carts that you guys put together were just, I'm telling you, those 3 carts were the highlight of the Heritage Pool Pro Appreciation Event.
They're
that
amazing.
made that. So when we talk about Disneyland, John's Disneyland, that was it. That was the vision, right? That's exactly what we wanted to do. So big, huge thank you to you guys for.
And look, those carts, they weren't just Aquastar carts, right? We're talking about Array Pack.
Mhm.
We're talking about 3 vendors coming together with a common goal, right? To better the industry and to educate them with the latest and greatest and most innovative products on the market. Right. Instead of going, no, we're going to get in our corner and do our thing. And I only want to talk about my filter and my pump. Right. And we're not going to talk about another manufacturer or prop up another manufacturer, where you guys, seriously, you get it. You get the vision. And this is the fruits of your labor. And congratulations. Right. And I'm sure there's 100 more of them out there, or probably 500 more of them out there that haven't had the courage to step up and tell us, but are out there, and you guys have impacted their lives and made it better for them.
The new 3.
I do have an idea. I do have an idea.
Ugh.
Are you up for it?
Wait, we all supposed to drink?
Are we all?
Right.
Cheers,
Wait,
everybody.
what was the drink? I didn't say. Did I say I was super excited?
No, it's anytime
He
you have
did
a new
now.
idea.
Anytime I say I have a new idea, you guys are supposed to drink.
Yes.
I think I have to get a cash register sound for whenever you say that too.
Yes, please.
Oh no, that's awesome. So, anyways, big huge shout out. I do want to talk about our boy Michael, because we haven't let him talk. He's just kind of been sitting over there in the corner, probably thinking, "Man, am I ever going to get a chance to talk on this podcast?" Like,
It's a good time for a break. And then we'll get to Michael.
we got to take a break, and then we have 3 minutes left for Michael.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
He's
Better speak quick.
He's the newbie. He has to be last, right?
He
He's
has
the
to.
newbie.
Yeah, we got to. You know.
We don't want him spoiled.
Yeah,
right?
not that he would be nervous, because he wouldn't be nervous at this stage. But normally we just kind of so that you talk and you don't get nervous. But
Yeah.
Corey got to give up that reign real quick.
he
He's
did,
like,
huh?
He's like, "Here's the belt, kid.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
the new guy
Here's-
now." So
So that's documented now. If there's any question about who the new guy
New
is
kid on the block
team,
is?
that's been firmly established by the president, that's no longer me. So just putting it out there.
That's awesome. Hey, Spider, let's do this. Let's take a quick word from our sponsors. When we come back, we're going to have a conversation about Mr. Krause over there.
Let's do it.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral. The Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high-range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos-Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC. The next evolution in lighting is here. Universal Color Logic 2.0 from Hayward. The latest in pool and spa lighting was designed with you in mind, making installation a breeze. Upgrades include a detachable cord and first-of-a-kind adjustable lower catch to overcome variations in plaster thickness. As always, Universal Color Logic lights retrofit into virtually any in-ground pool or spa while delivering industry-leading, vibrant color. Visit Hayward.com to discover more.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Moon Nation Live podcast. By the way, everybody. Thank you, Spider. Appreciate that. So Todd was just calling me out because I've been late a couple times to the intro back. So, you know, this is perfect. You got some practice. So next time you just bring us back.
Yeah.
So next time you just roll with it.
Gotcha.
So, anyways, welcome back, everybody. We're talking to Corey. We're talking to Michael Kraus. And so Michael has been punished in the corner over there for what? About an hour now. And he's just had to sit there and just kind of watch. So anyways, want to talk about Michael. So Michael was the owner of First Response Pools, is now, what's your official title?
I am the brand manager of Aquastar Pool Products.
Brand manager of Aquastar Pool Products. And
Let's go.
let's go. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to see if you can spill any tea into what you guys have in your sleeve. Look, Todd's already making faces, kind of going, So do you have a signal kind of to him to be like, you can't share that. You got to cut. No,
I don't snitch.
You don't snitch. Snitches get stitches. In your case, snitches get fired.
Yeah.
So Michael, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know that a lot of people know who you are, but if there's anybody new that's listening, tell us a little bit about yourself. And then want to talk about how you got and ended up with Aquastar. And we want to talk about a little bit of the power of what you've done to be able to do that.
Yeah. I'll try and keep it a little, shorter and sweeter than the whole story because it is pretty long. But I've been in the industry for, I think we're at 13 years now. I started when I was about 14 with my stepdad, Todd, who owns a service company. He has for over 30 years. And I started just doing repairs and installs with him and learning the ropes of putting pumps in, filters, all that stuff. And then that slowly fed into, learning pool chemistry and how to clean a pool and maintain it. And, when things go wrong, here's what we got to do. And then so that branched into, starting to clean some pools and continuing to do the repairs. And then I started, doing a couple pumps and stuff on my own when I, a couple years later. And after a while, I just started doing a route full time. Thought pool industry is not for me. I want out of it. This is dumb. And tried to leave. Actually tried to leave twice. And here we are still in it. But and then once I came back in this last time, I left Ventura County Sheriff's Office. I was the record specialist over there. And I decided I wanted to start my company, First Response Pools. And that weekend when I left, went out camping, broke both my legs, was told I was going to lose my right leg, and that whole dream went out the window. At that point, it was just focused on, am I going to recover? Can I recover? Do I have a leg? Do I not have a leg? And after a year of recovery and surgeries and everything else, the doctor told me that I wouldn't be able to clean pools. There's no way I'm going to be on my feet that much. But I don't listen very well. And I told him, I'm going to do what I want. I'm not going to do what you say. And that weekend was the Western show. That was 2 years ago. And that was when I met, you, Edgar, and John, and Zach, and everybody. And, we talked. And I didn't even have the name First Response Pools yet. I was actually at the show with a shirt that I made myself for Michael Kraus Pool Service. And I made a hat for myself and everything, and business cards. And then about a month into that, I knew that, this isn't the name that I want. I want to build a brand. I want something that I can, have fun with and, play with and do social media stuff. And a lot of people told me that it wouldn't work. And the way that you have to do it is, everybody wants to hear, your name. They want it personable. And my idea was, why can't I make it a personable family company with a name, with a brand? And that was my goal was, I'm going to build a brand that's still has the family values, but, we're going to do a better structure behind it. So, and I came up with the name First Response Pool Service.
Great name, by the way.
Thank you. And I had my buddy Cody, who does graphic design and everything. We sat down and came up with the logo idea, made the logo. He created the font that I have for my logo. And as soon as that was made, it was just, hit the ground running, let's go. And so created the social media page, built that up. And, within a few months, it was taken off and, talking to people all over the country and making these videos. And I was having a ton of fun doing it. And then next thing I know, I'm at, the boot camps, and I'm traveling all across the country to go to events and trainings and shows. And at the same time, still single polar, trying to clean pools from across the country and figure out that. And when you talk about logistics, that's quite the big one. And from there on, it was just, go. Let's do it. Let's build this up. Let's do what we can and, have fun the whole way through. And then it was actually at the first boot camp in Houston at Zach's place that I met Todd. And, I knew Steve before, not really on a personal level, but, I'd taken classes from him before. And same thing with Brian. And I had seen some of the other people, just around the shows. And then after, I think it was the first day of the boot camp, I was sitting there trying to post on social media, and then I hear a song looping on Todd's phone, and he's sitting there trying to post something. And there was something he couldn't figure out, and he's like, "Do you know how to do this stuff?" And so I showed him how to do the story thing, and we started just talking, and he was asking where I'm from, and I was like, "Oh, Simi Valley out in California." And he's like, "Really? We're in Ventura." And so we started chatting, and then from there on, it was just we got back to California. I think it was like a week later, came by the office, saw the facility, which I was blown away. When he told me to come by, I was like, oh, here we go, sales pitch. And, he's going to try and get me to only buy their pumps. But, it was just, here's the facility that we have, and, check it all out.
It's an amazing
So
story.
you created the story monster, the Instagram tagger, Mr. Todd Pieri.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
social savvy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
point,
Yeah.
John.
Savvy right now.
Right?
Well,
He created the monster.
what I love is the first impressions I had on both of them. This one, it was poo-poo, and this one's like he doesn't know how to run social media. That's how we started. I love it.
So now what you should do is everybody that you're gonna think of hiring, say, tell me what your first impression is.
Right.
And if it's not bad, you're like, okay, you're not the right person.
Yeah, we're gonna have to prep a little more next time. Prep the guys.
The guy comes up, oh, I love you, and you're like, you're not the right guy. So, Michael, and we talked about it on the Instagram Live with John. We talk about the power of networking all the time and how important it is. And I'm going to share here in a second a story of the awards with that networking. But we talk about all the time that it's not just about getting out and getting education. Yes, that's absolutely important. But one of the biggest successes for us has been the networking, right? And the opportunity to create relationships. And some of them go beyond just work relationships. They have become friendships, right? But a lot of the time that networking opens doors for you that at the moment you might not see. And it's important to get out to these events and get out of your comfort zone. And it's very difficult to go, and you went out to Houston all by yourself. And yes, you'd talk to us on social media and all that. That's all very different. Just like the first time that John, Zach, and I met for the first person, we'd been doing a podcast for an entire year and we had never met each other. And we go for that first interaction. Was it awkward for a little bit? Probably, maybe for
Not for a second. Not for 1 second.
But you go into it.
Zach is always a little awkward.
Well, yeah, he's just a little odd.
Zach's a little awkward.
He's not here, so let's throw him under the bus.
We love you, Zach.
But
Right.
but like admitted, John, like going in, you're like, we're gonna meet for the first time. What is that
I
gonna
thought
be like?
you were catfishing me the whole time.
Because
AI was starting to be a thing, and I thought you were kind of catfishing, and I was like worried.
because you don't know, right? Like
For
it could have
sure.
been, that all of a sudden
For
I
sure.
turn out to be this like weird, dude, and you're like, oh my God, what the hell have we done, right? But you have to get out of that comfort zone, and you have to get out there, and you have to meet people, and sometimes I don't care if it's like Todd sitting over the corner, and you're one polar over there, and you're like, oh, there's the president of Aquas. Like I can't talk. It's like, no, get out there, go over, introduce yourself, just like you guys had that relationship, and you went over and said, let me help you.
Yeah.
Because those networking open door. I talked about Keegan at the awards. I don't know if I told you this part or not, John, but Keegan, 22-year-old from California, messaged me on the chat on our website, and I go, here, just call me. And I just send him my number, and he was like floored that I called him. And he's 22 years old, and he goes, Edgar, I hear you guys talking about the networking thing, and man, I'm 22 years old. I don't know anybody. I've never done any events in the pool industry, but gosh, I hear you guys talking about the networking and reaching other people. He goes, I want to come out to the Pool Nation conference. And I'm like, come on out to the Pool Nation conference. We'll spend some time with you. We'll talk to you. The more I talk to him, the more I understand how passionate he is about the industry. And he's like, Edgar, I'm 22 years old. I'm bringing on my second guy. I'm hungry. I love this industry. I'm hungry. And so I go out, and when I was doing the conversation, the speech, whatever you want to call it, the intro to the awards, I said, Keegan, please stand up. And he came to me and he said, Edgar, can I talk to you for a second at the after party? And I'm like, absolutely. And he goes, just to let you know, when you did that, I really didn't like that. And I went, oh, crap. He goes, but now that I'm at the after party, I have to tell you, thank you.
Yep.
He
Aw.
goes, I stood up And I was sitting all by myself in the back corner with nobody else. And he goes, and the moment that you made me stand up and say that I came out here, 10 people came and asked me to sit at their tables.
Oh, that's awesome.
He goes, as of this moment, and this was at the after party, he goes, I have 50 new contacts in my phone from people around the industry.
There you go.
And I'm
That's
like,
amazing.
that's what it's about right there. And he was all fired up saying, I feel a lot more confident now that I could pick up the phone and call these people and connect with them. And so for you, it's the same thing. You go out there, you don't know anybody, you connect with Todd, right? You kind of get out of your comfort zone. And we have to give him a lot of credit, John, because he's done a lot. He's traveled a lot by himself to all these events.
100%. And I mean, not only that, but he's helped teach, right? At these at our boot camps, like almost every boot camp you go to after the first one, you were literally there. It's such a natural progression if you really think about it, right? I saw this coming, believe it or not. I saw this coming a while ago, and I'm glad that it happened. And it's been very. I'm a loss for words here, but I've been very, very happy to see your progression from the first day that I met you, right? And you can tell that this is what you love and what you enjoy to do, right? There's no secret behind it.
Yeah.
And for you to settle, or not settle might be a wrong word, but to land in a position, in a place where you can utilize your amazing talents, which you do have, right? And at the same time, stay in this industry that you love, right? But more importantly, health-wise, right? You just physically, right? You were in a position where it hurt every day. And, you were talking about, I mean, I still can't believe how you were doing pools and how you were still out there busting your ass every single day, in the condition that you were in, but you did what you had to do, right? And you were fighting to do it. And I know deep down inside, at one point, you were probably a little scared and a little worried, right? Because you can't go on forever this way. And change is kind of scary, but what's beautiful about it, and what we're talking here, because of the friendships and because of you going out there and taking that chance and
Getting out of that comfort zone.
Getting out of that comfort zone, you were able to land softly, right? With an amazing company like Aquastar, doing what you love to do and still be in the industry that you love to be in, right? With all the friends that you've made. So I think it's just like a perfect fairy tale story. And how you landed, where you're at right now. So I'm excited to see what the future holds for you and what you're going to bring, to our industry,
So can you share? So obviously you go out to all these events, you do a lot of training. It's constantly getting out of the comfort zone. You get into a situation where you physically can't do it anymore. Yeah. So tell us about the story. And I know the story, which I think is great. You go up, you meet with Todd, you're kind of having a conversation. So walk us through how that conversation went down.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that was a little bit later. The original time he came up, the conversation I think that you're talking about was a few months after that.
Yeah.
And I'll let him go.
Go ahead.
Yeah. But I mean, when I started First Response Pools, because of, the condition of my legs and stuff, I knew it wasn't going to be the long-term goal, and I knew bringing on multiple employees and, having, a bunch of trucks running, everything else, and then eventually I'm going to have to stop doing that. Because even when you're, the owner with the trucks running, you're still working. Like, somebody calls out, you're going to be doing stuff. And so I knew keeping it as just a single puller, for however long I was going to do it was the way to go. But when I decided to sell it, I actually had a bit of an incident with my foot, and I had to go see the doctor. It went numb for like a day, and I was like, this is not good. And so I went to see my surgeon. We did some x-rays and found some new issues going on in there. And he's like, you're going to have to get another surgery eventually, preferably as soon as possible. And I was like, well, I can't do that right now because I got to go clean pools tomorrow. So that really got me thinking about it. And then one day I woke up and I just decided, it's time, and that's the way I like to do things, is just, here we go. We're going head first into this. So I was like, all right, it's time to sell. You know, I don't really have a plan of what we're doing next, but we'll figure it out when we get there. So Todd and I went and got some lunch. You know, we do that pretty often. You know, we go chat and talk about the industry and, you know, give insight from his side to my side and, you know, have some fun. And we left lunch that one day. And as we were walking out to the cars, I was like, so I'm selling the business. And he stops in his tracks.
Just like the face he made now.
Yeah. And he's like, what? I was like, yep. I woke up this morning and I decided I'm selling it. So and he's like, when? I'm like, I'm going to call the guy who, you know, bought my stepdad's route because he's moving out to Arizona and see if he's interested. And if he is, you know, however soon he wants to take over, you know, I'm doing it. And he's like, well, what are you going to do now? I was like, well, you know, what I'd like to do is everything I'm already doing other than cleaning pools. Like, I don't want to leave the industry. I want to do networking, social media, you know, brand stuff and, you know, trade shows and just being around, you know, the industry people and talking to everybody and, you know, trying to invest into the future of the industry. And right there, he's like, you're not going anywhere. He's like, come down to the office this week. Let's talk. Like, let's see what we can do. Figure out, you know, if you're going to get that guy to buy it, let's get that going and, you know, let's make this happen.
Now, the question is, did you already in your head have an idea what you were going to do, or were you really at that point like, let's try to figure something out with Michael?
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, I had always thought that would be a possibility at some point. Like Michael said, kind of blindsided when he told me. Hold on, real quick, sorry. I have a scratchy throat from the show. Like, we've been talking so much.
That's a nice cup. I like that mug.
Yeah, that wasn't. I didn't do that. I really do have a scratchy throat. So
Spider, put the camera up. Spider, put the camera on me. I got a scratchy throat too. Okay, thank you.
All right. Yeah, so it was. I was blindsided for sure. And you know, I've gotten to know Michael, so I knew that it was eventually, you know, gonna come to that. And we had started on our studio that we're building at Aquastar that Olaf had the vision of, and that day I said, before we talk about what's going to happen, or what potentially could happen with us, come up and see the studio, and then you can kind of make your own judgment from there and see if this would be a place that fits for you. And he came up, and I walked him to the studio, and he looked around and goes, whoa, I had no idea this is what you were talking about. Because it's Olaf, right? Go all in. So yeah, at that point, excuse me, that point we sat down, and yeah, rest is history. He's here.
So question is, what was that conversation? What did he tell you at that point when he told you about the position?
Well, you know, it was more so just, you know, we talked about stuff, you know, and I asked him, you know, what's the idea with the studio? You know, what's the game plan? And he's like, anything we want. You know, let's make it happen. You know, and we can shift, we can do things, we can do educational videos, you know, we can do our product trainings, we can do fun stuff, you know, entertainment wise, everything. And right there, I was like, when do I start? I'm in. Let's go.
So share. So what are some of the ideas that can you guys share? Like, can you guys share what it is that you, obviously you come into the space now, so now you have the space, and John and I got to see it in the infancy stages. We got the idea, or at least here's what this goes on this wall. We're going to have this, and here's what we're going to do. So you come in, and your title is brand manager for Aquastar, right?
Yep.
So what's the vision of what you're going to do?
So currently, I took over all the social media, so I'm the one running the pages now, and I'm going to be doing all the press releases, marketing, you know, digital marketing, you know, magazines, everything, and then working the trade shows, building content. So really, the big idea is let's get Aquastar more of a household name. You know, let's really push the brand. Let's get this in people's faces. So, and with the studio, it's, you know, we're going to be bringing in our sales team to come in and do some stuff. We're going to be doing some entertainment, you know, kind of fun stuff, you know, not so much educational, but, you know, something to give somebody else something to watch. We're going to be doing photos and video, just everything. And our owner Olaf, his idea is to have a full broadcast center. So I mean, anything you can ever imagine being involved with the broadcast center, that's what we're doing.
Very cool. So when are we invited? I'm looking at Todd already. Like I'm waiting for.
You know-
I'm looking at him and saying, "Quiet, waiting to see John."
Well, I'm
have you
excited.
gotten
I'm
the
going to be there in
invitation?
December.
I was
I'm
thinking the
going
same
there in
thing.
December. So
Yeah.
Damn.
And I
Yeah.
mean, we
Golden
have,
ticket.
yeah, but we have there's a ton more stuff that we're going to be doing, but I want to keep it a little suspenseful. So make sure you stay tuned because,
He doesn't want to share, John. He doesn't
not
want to spill
spilling
the
the tea.
tea. There you
Exactly.
go.
Well, real quick, I just want to jump in here and say one of the things I think I can share, something that's organically happened, I'd say, over the last handful of weeks, and it happens to be with one of our teammates. If anyone knows a gentleman named, I'm going to murder his last name because I'm illiterate, but Brian Croissant.
He always gets mad at me. I call him Brian Croissant, and I
Yes.
don't even know. Is that how you say it, Todd?
Yes.
So-
I love croissant.
shout out to you, Brian. I know you're watching.
Yes.
damn, I'm thinking eggs Benedict on a croissant. You know what I mean? That
Check it
sounds
out.
good.
Just call him
So,
Gummy Bear.
Oh,
I call him
shots
Pookie.
fired.
I call him Pookie, but that's behind
Oh,
closed
Pookie,
doors. Yes.
yeah.
Oh, shots
So
fired.
what we have kind of just as a joke, but it started to organically grow, is when we started going out to dinner with Brian as a team, we just started going to the restaurants and the waiters and telling them it's Brian's birthday.
Yep.
And so he started to have these events where every time we went out, candle came out, everyone sings happy
Oh my
birthday.
God.
And so during the boot camp, we just started to tell everyone it's Brian's birthday.
Yeah.
And
Every
shout out to
single
Academy
class.
Pools, right? Because they did an amazing video of him coming out, standing at a it's shocking, a lunch line. And they just run up to him and start singing happy birthday as loud as they can.
Amazing.
And like I said, it was one of those natural, organic moments that, Michael over here supported. And if anyone sees Brian out in the wild, I don't care if it's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
It's
It is
his
that man's
birthday.
birthday. Exactly.
He's on here. He says, Pookie? Question mark.
You know what I'm talking about, Brian. It's okay. It's okay.
You are a brave man, Corey. I thought we were going to keep this behind wraps, but you just sent it to the world. I
Oh,
love it.
man.
Now Brian is.
Happy birthday, Brian.
Happy birthday, my friend.
Happy birthday, Brian. Big shout out. Hey, John, that's what Brian thinks all the time as well. All he thinks about is food,
Yeah.
is what they're saying. Michael's always dreamt of being part and finding a purpose in something outside of himself. Aquastar was the perfect fit. And that was your beautiful
And-
wife, which you just got married recently.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations
Oh,
for
yes.
that.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Huh?
Shout out to my wife, Haley.
Amazing wedding.
Yeah.
We had a blast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Todd was at my wedding as well.
Awesome.
I mean, if that goes to show the friendship and everything we built, before even thinking about coming to Aquastar,
Mhm.
And one thing I want to talk about too is the thing with the Aquastar team is, and we talked about this at a dinner the other night with the whole team, is the culture behind it. All of us, each and every one of us has a drive with this industry, and all we want to do is do better and invest into it. And no matter what role each of us has in the company, whenever anything comes up, we're ready to go. Breaking down the booth and putting all the carts in. It didn't matter what your title was. We were all there, hands on, making it happen and getting this done. And that played a big part in, me wanting to be with Aquastar, and I saw that from the outside for a long time. And I just knew that, this is what I want to do because we had similar values.
Hey, Corey, I just want you to know that you started something very dangerous. So you come on here, Jen, happy birthday, Brian. Nicole, happy birthday, Brian.
It's
Academy
the whole
Pools,
chat.
happy birthday. Cheryl Krause, happy birthday. Official
Let's
Ray Pack,
go.
happy birthday.
Let's go.
And then someone said Brian is now close to 1,000 years old without the birthday he said in a couple months.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, man, poor guy is in trouble. So anyways, Brian, all jokes aside, happy birthday.
We love you, buddy.
So, no, absolutely love it, and love the power of networking and seeing you get out there. So you see some of the young folks in the industry like you were. What would you tell them about network? I know I talk about it, and they probably get sick of me hearing it, right? They're like, oh, my God, there goes Edgar about that stupid networking thing. But for you, that it worked.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, for me, one part that really made it work was not being comfortable. Like if everyone that asked me, what should I do? How should I do it? Stop being comfortable. Get out of that comfort zone. If you're comfortable, you're not working hard enough and you're not doing enough to build yourself up. With I don't even remember the first time I got up to speak in front of people, but if you asked me 2 to 3 years ago to do that, there's no way. I'm not getting up like this right here. No way. I'm not doing it. I'm not getting on. I'm sick that day and I will not be there. But, once I, started to realize the power behind networking and doing all this stuff, you asked me to get on that first time. Let's do it. Let's go. And I think the first time I was on the podcast itself was for the nomination. And that was a while back with Jamie Novak was on. And I think we had a couple other people as well. And when Edgar hit me up and he's like, hey, we want to do the podcast. We want to talk about you and your nomination. Let's go. Let's do it. I've never done this before and I'm going to, it doesn't matter. I don't care. This is what it takes. This is what we have to do. And it works. So get out of your comfort zone. Stop, sitting there behind the scenes. I don't want to do that. No, go out and get it.
Yeah, you have to. You definitely. Yeah, you got to get it. You got to get out of that comfort zone, and that's really kind of how you grow. Coastal Cactus, get out of your comfort zone. Amen. Brian is saying that he started the week at 56. He's at 76 right now. So just to give you a heads up.
He's going to legitimately forget his birthday. You know what I'm saying? It's going to actually happen.
That
He's
is
like,
so
oh,
awesome.
man, this again. Oh, wait, it really is. Yeah.
So,
we love you, Brian.
Brian, give me a call. Would love to get some dinner with you for your birthday this weekend. So
you got to start asking for birthday drinks instead of cupcakes or whatever you're getting.
Yeah. One of the dinners we did, they actually brought out a full banner, held it up like this.
Oh my God.
And then the whole team, and then they handed him a giant sparkler. And I have the video of it, so I'll show you after this, Edgar.
And the greatest thing about that is he was trying to leave prior because he had something to go grab. And so he was then forced to stand by the banner with the candle on fire until it went out. And he just looked, yes.
Oh, Brian, we love you, brother. We appreciate it. He's a great sport.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yes,
great
he
sport.
is. Yes, he is.
Let's see here. Ariel says hi, and she loves you.
That is my daughter.
Let's go.
Yes.
That's what
Hello.
I'm talking
Hello,
about.
baby
That
girl. Daddy loves
talk
you very
about.
much. And honestly, that's a real quick point.
Yes.
We talk about how each of us are dedicated to the industry and we're willing to move that needle forward and stay out of your comfort zone, be uncomfortable to grow. We're not able to do that without the people that help support us.
Yep.
And that's my daughter. That's my significant other, Jennifer. Shout out to you.
Shout out, Jen.
We've been out on the road for a full week. And without those individuals back home, just rooting us on, supporting us on an individual basis, enabling us to do what we do, I don't know if I'd be sitting here like I am today.
Yeah.
So,
I don't
100%.
think we would, right? And we talked about it at the Pool Nation Awards, and we had our families come up because it's important. There's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it, and especially when they're young, like your daughter is young. They don't understand, right? There's just this void, right? And it used to happen with my daughter. I traveled for 6 months at a time, and every Sunday night she cried for 6 months straight, right? And it kind of has an impact. And when there's not that support and they don't understand, you kind of get to the point where you go, I can't do this anymore, right? And that's one of the reasons I stopped doing what I stopped doing, because it was just too much, on the road. But when you do have their support, right, and they get a little bit older and they understand, it's kind of amazing to be able to see that. For us, it was important to bring our families up, for them to see why we do what we do, right? So it's one thing for us to talk about it to our kids and our family all the time. This is what we do. This is why we do it. We're passionate about the community. We want to help other people. There's sacrifices that come with that, and wanted to kind of get them to kind of come on stage and see with their eyes what we see when we're standing on that stage going out, right? That's our other family right there.
Outside of our comfort zone, by the way.
Outside of your comfort zone. Hey, I was not going to tell anybody that you guys were going to come up on stage. And then I just figured it might be a good idea if I give them all a little bit of heads up, right?
Definitely.
But let me tell you how it went. I go up to Bobby and I go, Bobby, you're going on stage. He's like, let's do it. Let's go. He was ready to go. And I'm like, I'm telling you, come on. Oh, I don't know. And I'm like, Bobby's ready to go. Let's go. And then Zach's daughter, Tristan.
Yeah.
Tristan, I'm like, let's go. She jokes about something about stage. And I go, all jokes aside, I'm having you come on the stage. And she looked at me like, what? And I go, yeah, I'm having you come on the stage. And what I loved about her is then all of a sudden she turns around, she goes, let's do it. Let's go. And she jumped on stage. And so then I was teasing Zach because I was teasing her when the awards were over. I go, girl, from here, you're going to do an award next year. And she turns to me and she goes, I'll do it. And I go, you don't get that from your dad.
I know. I told my mom, I go, come on, let's go. She goes, oh, no. I said, come on, you're getting up here.
Yeah.
Took her all the way up there.
But I thought it was important for them to see, from the other side. And when you have that support to be able to do that it's absolutely amazing. So finally got to hear your live. I found the podcast a couple days ago and my service has changed since.
Awesome.
That's the gas right there. That's exactly why we do it and just get so fired up. There was so many amazing stories at the Pool Nation conference. We had a guy from New York, older guy, been doing it for a long time, does the Hamptons. And so we're kind of having conversation with him and we're talking about the service and how much they charge and, how many pools they open and close and all that kind of stuff. And so one of the guys goes, so what do you do in the wintertime? And he's like, well, me and my wife, we go to Puerto Rico and we just spent the winter over there. And so we kind of kept talking and then Tamara interviewed him and what was really cool is he's getting ready to retire. He's getting ready to pass his business onto his son. And he goes, I wanted to come to the conference because I wanted to transition my business to my son with other like-minded pool professionals. And I wanted him to be surrounded by pool pros when I give up the keys and let him take over. And just thought that was so cool that he kind of wanted to do that, within that group of people. So absolutely amazing. So his name is numero 3. That's his Instagram handle. So hey, big shout out to you out there. Appreciate that. If you ever need anything, go onto the website, send us a message, or if you have the Poolman University app through the Submit. Guys, let's do this. Let's take our final word from our sponsors. When we come back, I want to get final thoughts, but I'm going to throw this around. Corey, prepare. Michael, prepare.
Let's go.
You're going to bring our final thoughts.
Again,
we'll be right back.
Get out of the comfort zone.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high-range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos-Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC. The next evolution in lighting is here. Universal Color Logic 2.0 from Hayward. The latest in pool and spa lighting was designed with you in mind, making installation a breeze. Upgrades include a detachable cord and first-of-a-kind adjustable lower catch to overcome variations in plaster thickness. As always, Universal Color Logic lights retrofit into virtually any in-ground pool or spa while delivering industry-leading, vibrant color. Visit Hayward.com to discover more.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. We are talking to Todd, Corey, and Michael with Aquastar Pool Products. Mr. JJ is over there relaxing today, trying to show his sexy legs over from there. Oh, he put it down. There you go. He got a little shy.
We got to get a camera on the couch.
Yes. We need one over there.
Wait, this is the safe zone. No video.
Oh, this is the safe zone? Oh, okay. My bad. So, hey, just really quick, I'm going to toss it over to Todd here for just a second, but I do have it's funny because normally I can read the name of the Instagram handle, but again, it's numero 3. I had no idea how big the industry is. I've been working on pools in Dallas for the past year. I can't wait to attend the next workshop or conference. That's exactly what we're talking about. That's the movement that we want to see. So big shout out to you, brother. Stay in touch, reach out, whether it's right here through Instagram, send me a message, we'll connect. Share all that information out there. So, Todd, I think you've assembled an absolutely amazing team. I know that that's part of your strategy at this point, and it's working really, really well. It's you can't hide it as much as you want to try to hide it, that you can't hide that anymore. Want to talk about the team?
Yeah, we're super fortunate that we have an owner that is willing to allow us to invest in good talent and go out and try to seek good talent. You were talking earlier about, Michael, what advice would you have for people coming into the industry, or how to move up and move on? And you and Michael mentioned get out of your comfort zone. And one thing I'll mention, and this plays out with our entire team, there's talent out there everywhere. There really is talent out there everywhere. But are you a good teammate? And I think that's what we focus on just as much as the talent inside our company. And it's very important that you're not an energy suck, right? That you want to be positive, you want to be nimble, you want to bring something to the team, and I think that's really important, right? I think being good at your job is just being. It's not just being good at your tasks, right? You have to be a good team player, and so I think that's very important. And like I said, we've been afforded the ability to go out and seek out great talent. And Mandy's putting together an amazing sales force. And we have a couple new hires that were pre these two. That we have a new Florida rep that she actually came from the Dallas area, so everyone in this area knows her, Teresa, and she is now in the Florida market now, handling Florida and Wisconsin. So Mandy said, how many states do you want to give her? And I'm like, well, you tell me. And she goes, I think we should give her, obviously, Florida, but let's give her Wisconsin, too. We don't want her spoiled.
And
So,
she's absolutely amazing
she's
as well.
incredible.
That was a great.
Yeah.
I love watching from the sidelines and just kind of every time they bring somebody, I'm like, that was
And
a good move.
then just to name off the rest of the team, we have Josh that's in the Southeast with us. He's another incredible hire, another incredible individual that Mandy found and just embodies everything that we do at the company. And then everybody knows our boy Omar, right? And then obviously birthday boy, everybody knows him. And then Jason, who also is in our Texas market as well. He's been with us forever. I've worked with him when he was on the other side at distribution, and just a complete rock star. So I don't think I'm leaving anybody else out there. Steve Barnes always gets his shout out, so we're gonna but yeah, everybody, I think I hope that they will attest to it, being their first trade show with the entire group, is we work damn hard, that's for sure. You know, we get after it when it comes to work, but we also have a lot of fun together. There was nobody staying back. Every time we went out after the show, everybody was bringing it.
Yeah.
So I think so.
Oh yeah.
Play hard, work hard.
But we do it together. That's the fun part,
Yeah.
right? Like everyone has got a great personality and fun to be around, and we all bring our own little quirkiness to the team, but we have a great time together. We really are a pretty close knit family. It's growing fast.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
It's really all of a sudden exploding.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. We feel it. We feel hot right now, which is fun.
Nice. Hey, big shout out to Miguel, Imperial Pool Services, Pool Guy of the Year.
Let's go.
Big shout out to you out there, brother. Those pictures, by the way, that they took of him winning the award was pretty cool. So, gentlemen, normally I toss it over to John and Zach, but you know what? John is, we have him on a timeout chair today. So he's over there. He's trying to distract you guys with those sexy legs over there so that you guys kind of get distracted. But John, who should we throw the first final thoughts to?
I think we should throw it to Corey.
Let's go. Final thoughts.
You know, I would say stay humble. I'd say ask a lot of questions. Michael alluded to it earlier. Don't get comfortable. You know, stay uncomfortable, and you'll eventually get to a moment in your life, not just on a professional but a personal level, that you'll have a whole stack of achievements behind you. And I think that as long as you stick with that formula, you're going to do an amazing thing. And that's the important part. Again, like I said earlier, we don't just clean pools. We don't just rep a product. We don't just, clean a filter. We are keeping people safe to a level that a lot of people just overlook, and I think that's a huge part of the industry that needs to be recognized. And like I said earlier, you guys provide a platform for everyone in the industry to do that. And that's an amazing thing to be part of. So, yeah. And then happy birthday, Brian.
Hey, Jordan is saying over here, Aquastar needs to do a hiring class so I could start to make better hires. That's a good one. Michael.
Yeah.
Bring us home, baby. Final thoughts.
Oh, man. One thing I want to say is, like, when we were at the boot camp and seeing all those people that, every class each time, Todd would come out and who's wired a pump before, who's installed this before, who's done this, and then who hasn't, and seeing how many hands went up. We love to see that, because that means the industry as a whole is growing and we're all learning together and learning correctly. It's not, let me go buy this thing that I've never installed before and then I'll wing it and hopefully I don't get electrocuted or, you know, hurt myself. So learning in the correct way, and the boot camp and now conference that you guys have brought along, you know, is a really big impact in the industry. And so I hope, you know, with the future ones that, you know, we all are a part of, is we hope to see more, you know, new people coming in to learn and grow the industry. Because, you know, as the industry grows, we all grow. And without the new people coming in and taking that time out of their day, and, you know, it's hard. I did it for a long time, to take a couple days off, especially if you got to fly somewhere and do that, and then coordinate your pools, and, you know, you're going to be tired, and, you know, it's really hard. And seeing how many people are coming out to do it, keep doing it. You know, let's keep doing this. And, you know, being part of the Aquastar team now, it's been, you know, it's been fun. You know, we've been having a whole lot of fun. We're working super hard, you know, especially with, I just started on October 28th. And from my first day there, it's been all gas, no brakes for the new 3 carts. And, you know, we're getting the social media going, and we're doing this and we're doing that. And, you know, it's just, you know, we're shifting from here to there, and then flying out here. And we've been here since last Friday for the, you know, the trainings, and then the show. And now we're here doing the podcast today. And, you know, it's been so much fun, and oh man, I can't wait for the future. I'm all fired up.
I want to say something real quick. I'm going to take a minute.
Where are you using your sexy voice?
I was just, oh my God, did you not, I was just going to say sexy.
It's because I just woke up. I was so comfortable on the couches chilling. I just woke up.
He's like, excuse me.
Wait.
Well, no.
I need a picture of John, because he's just too freaking comfortable back there. Wait.
I got to compete with Corey.
You know, I wish the viewers could see what we see right now.
I know. That's
I got to compete with Corey.
Oh my God.
No, hey,
I've
no.
got to take a picture of this. Right
Look,
there and post it.
I just want to. I don't know. Look, I just want to say one thing, and Edgar, this is to you, my friend, and Zach. I know you're listening.
Damn it, you beat me to the punch. I know where you're going from this. Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to keep it short. I want to kind of get into it a little bit further, so I'm not really going to go too into depth, but I just want to say one thing, and it's like, Todd, I remember when we were at the pre-conference, and you know, I'm walking around talking to everybody who's doing classes, figuring out, you know, how's it going, you know, feedback, honest, good feedback, bad feedback, and I remember you telling me again, and we said it again on the podcast, you're saying, hey, look, I can't believe how many new people raised their hands, and you land the point again here, and you say it again, Michael, and I'm just sitting there thinking, and I'm going back to, you know, we talk about what our core principles are, right? And I remember when we started this journey almost 5 years ago, and one of my frustrations was that nobody, you know, when you didn't know something like that, right, you never felt comfortable enough when you were around your peers to be able to raise your hand and say something like that. And, you know, we want to create a safe space. And to hear that, you know, people are flying all over from, you know, all over the country, you know, we had like almost 400 people there at the pre-conference, and to have people that can confidently raise their hand up and feel good about saying, you know, they're amongst friends, they're in that safe space where they feel just comfortable being able to raise their hand and say, hey, look, yeah, I've never wired a pump before, right? And to know that it just speaks volumes to what you guys were able to accomplish when you were there doing the training, right? Because it all really comes down to the mood you set and the culture, and it speaks for what Aquastar is all about, right? You know, it's being inclusive, not exclusive, right? Where when people walk in, they felt comfortable. Every time somebody left your guys' class, or when the class was over, nobody wanted to leave. Everybody was sitting there at the carts, right? And they were chit-chatting and talking. And if 85% of the people there never even touched a pump, they're pretty new to the industry, right? They're probably not that experienced, but to be able to feel comfortable enough to go up to a president of a company, right? To you know, these vendors that they look at as like, hey, you know, I don't know you from Adam, and I'm here to learn, and you guys made me feel comfortable enough to be able to have a conversation with you afterwards, you know, and to continue on the education. I can't tell you how happy I am and how excited I am to hear that. So again, I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I know Edgar and Zach, we both feel the same way. You guys have been an instrumental part in our growth too as Pool Nation, right? You have been one of the few at the beginning that believed in us, and saw the vision that we wanted, that we saw and that we wanted to strive for. I look forward to many, many more years doing this and having a conversation, maybe 1-2 years from now and kind of seeing where we're at. I'm sure it's going to be pretty eye-opening, because the progress we've made in just the last few years, I think, is going to pale in comparison to the progress we're going to make, in the next 1 or 2 years, especially with the team that you guys have built and the progress we've already made. Right. And the things you guys have in store, along with what we got cooking for 2025. So we're ending off the year in a bang here, baby.
100%.
Don't tell him what we got for 2025 yet, because I'm not sure Todd's gonna like that when he hears what we got.
I'm trying to butter him up right now, dude.
He just gave me a dirty look.
I'm trying to butter him up right now.
Let us get through the expenses of this last one, and then we can talk about
I just want to add one thing too. With the classes that we've been putting on at the boot camps and everything, our whole training team is great, and they make it, very comfortable for anybody to be there, whether it's, you've been in the industry for 20 years or this is your first week in the industry.
Yeah.
And specifically shout out to Corey and Brian, with their training and, them two cracking jokes back and forth at each other and taking shots at each other. And, it really lightens the mood in the room. And so, if at the next one or, whichever class they do together, make sure you're there, because it's a good time. Yeah. Yeah. They make it really fun.
Wait till you see that train coming.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
And sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, Brian has, we talk about the team that was assembled, and I got to give the Aquastar upper management, Mandy Snow and Todd over here, a lot of credit, because being able to identify Brian as a key part of that culture was spot on. His ability to be able to stand in front of a group of people, and I don't want to say undress himself, but just change the level of communication that he has to make people feel comfortable is absolutely ridiculous. And it's a load of fun for me to be able to play off of that aspect, right? It's almost like a dance. And I hate to say it, I'm never going to admit to this again, but he leads that dance and I just follow. And if you haven't been able to get him in front of a group of people, if he hasn't been in the studio yet, you need to get him in here, because you guys are going to have a blast.
He's got his own podcast coming. We've talked about it. So, I am going to close off with one thing, and I'm going to put John a little bit uncomfortable, and I'm doing this because he's not on camera, because we talk about this all the time. Like, we're really bad at, like, if somebody gives us a compliment, if you had that ever.
Yep.
Janie. By the way, just to let you know, there was one time that somebody was giving us a compliment, and we're like, yeah. And Janie pulled us to the side afterward, and she was like, ripped into us. She's like, you guys are so disrespectful. And we're like what? And she's like, they were giving you a compliment, and you're just like, and then you keep up moving on. So, but this one is for you, my friend. That picture that you sent me was coming back your way, and I normally kind of get a little emotional, but it's been a fucking joyride, my friend.
Right.
It's been It's been 4 amazing years sitting up on that stage, looking at 500 people with the dream that we started, and where we're at is absolutely amazing. And I've told you this once, and I'll tell you this 1,000 times to you and Zach. We can raise this baby to the top, but if we have to burn it down for our friendship, we will. It's either we take it to the top or we burn it down, but we do it together.
100%.
And so I appreciate all the sacrifices that you have made. I appreciate all the sacrifices that Zach has made, because it hasn't been easy. I mean, we've sacrificed a lot to kind of get where we are. But, I wish people could understand when you talk about ride or die, there's a true meaning to it. And at the end of the day, you have to have that mindset of you truly do have somebody that's a ride or die, that you have no worries that person is going to have your back whatsoever. in any question of it, right? Whether you're wrong or right, they're going to have your back, and you guys are my ride and die. And to all the pool pros out there, you know, I enjoyed looking at that picture of all three of us up there at the stage and where we've come from and where we're at. But the beauty of it, people, is where we're headed, because the dream is bigger and there's a lot more that's cooking out there. So anyways, I didn't want that moment to go because I got the picture, and I appreciate that. And you're lucky because he's off camera, so he'll appreciate that because he hates it when they give him compliments. He's not enjoying himself over there right now. But brother, I appreciate you. Zach, I appreciate you guys. Everybody, I hope that you guys have a great. Yes, Michael, go ahead.
Can I give one shout out?
You can give all the shout outs that you want to give out, my friend.
I want to give a shout out to the new 3.
Let's go.
So if you don't know, the new 3 is Aquastar, Raypak, and Poolside Tech. We've come together to create the pool pad for the Pool Pro. And if you don't know, you will soon.
If you don't know, now you know.
Yep. If you don't know, now you know. And I'll leave it at this, but I do see some big, huge waves coming in 2025. I see it. I feel it. It's coming. So anyways, everybody, I hope that you guys have a great weekend. Thank you so much. I know that you guys have all stayed back an extra day to be able to do the podcast because of the schedule, so I really kind of appreciate you guys. Like John said, ditto, appreciate the relationship, appreciate you guys believing in us way early in the stage, and we appreciate that. Mr. Spider, we appreciate you too, my friend. Thank you for coming out and taking care of us at the awards.
Of course.
Take us home, baby.
Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation podcast, a member of the Pool Nation family. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or PoolNationPodcast.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram at Pool.Nation. And to find more info about Pool Invoice, the billing software built specifically for the pool industry, go to PoolInvoice.com. Before you go, this is what the pool industry has been waiting for. PoolmanUniversity.com. It's the first platform dedicated to learning the swimming pool service and repair industry. A pool service community where you can connect and find videos on business, service, water chemistry, and repairs. See you there at PoolmanUniversity.com.